Hello, welcome to Line War. We're watching the last of the losers round of the tournament. So these two players are fighting to fight the last battle of the tournament for the I guess to be the champion. So we have Animorph over here, who has had many battles throughout this tournament, and he is going to be starting off with 3 factories in the forest area. They pretty much blacklisted this entire area, about 5 different blacklist rules then. Juseless went on the other side of the blacklist, which he has gone for 2 factories, 2 barracks, and a navy yard. Animorph, I heard building something else, I'm sure. Yes, 2 barracks there. So Animorph is focusing more on the ground. He is expanding across both sections, both of these little stretches of land, and he's going to try and push it into this area too. Whereas Juseless has this area of the map, and it looks like because he's set up navy yard, he's going to be trying to claim the territory over here. Wow. It looks like Animorph doesn't have much intention of doing so, but they probably are pretty sure they're close to each other in this game. It is important to note there was a potential chance to have a trade route straight away, because you could have linked across here like that and had a trade route. But high economy on this type of map would be great later on, but if it went bad early on, it's going to go bad for the rest of the game. So it's important to note that there is one there that Animorph could take advantage of later on. Oh, we have some tanks rolling out from Animorph. He started off with 3 tanks here. Not sure what he's planning to produce next. But it looks like the animation's going a bit funny in that. But it is still building something. So they have spotted each other. They definitely are close to each other. Animorph is taking some mountain routes over here, so he's not going to be spotted so easily. Juseless is going for artillery at the beginning, and Sam just to protect himself from some air units, but he's definitely going to focus more on ranged units on the ground. So Animorph is going for a bit of a plan here. He's got his tanks moving on a blue command with arrows, so they focus on moving, and they won't be trying to take over any territory. So I want to see how Juseless responds to this. But I was right, yeah, he's got his transport boats there, and they're going to take some units across the water. These boats are these tanks are coming in through this ground now. Juseless has spotted them. And it looks like he's going to spread out his artillery a bit. These tanks are moving up a bit more here now, so they are going to end up in firing lines of these artillery. But I'm not sure if he has enough here to defend against them. Not if Animorph uses them well enough. He could go around a lot of this. So it looks like Jules is going for a line command there to try and block the path. But Animorph has adapted and he's trying to change their direction, but he's running out of energy. Animorph doesn't have any energy to use these tanks. So at best, this is a scout for him. And the artillery are going to be able to outrange them, so they cannot move anymore, but they can still fire. So I don't know if those tanks were actually worth it in the end, especially if you didn't actually try and produce any energy for this assault. Because now you can't go around the armies, you just have to sit there. So unfortunately, I think that kind of went against Animorph in this case. What else is he going for? He's now going into artillery. He's got some SAM units. But those tanks did go down. Jules' perspective, he is building an airfield up in the forest here. And he will claim all the land that he can soon. But he has managed to acquire a new island, which he's already set up the pathways for. Jules is going to have to deal with these groups of units up here. He's got 2 units to be able to spy on them, but that's about it so far. He's sending some artillery that way. He is building some anti-air boats there, but he's focused more on transports as well. Is Animorph going for any air units? Does not look like it, but he is still expanding. He's almost I would say it was almost done, but he's still got quite a lot of expanding to do. I think he sent quite a lot of his units towards Juseless at the beginning, and I think that's going to cut his expanding in half. So let's have a look at their economy. So, Animorph has 500 per minute, and Juseless has 500 per minute. So they're about the same at this point in the game. So Animorph has much more potential of the map to claim, and that could go in his favour later on. But Juseless is nonetheless still trying to expand, and when he claims these islands, that may end up being in his benefit. Animorph doesn't try and claim some islands as well. These artillery are easily going to push these infantry around, but is Animorph trying to sneak around? It looks like he is. He's got some commandos up here taking on this airfield. And those artillery are probably not going to reach them in time. They're probably going to quite easily destroy that, and that's going to halt Juseless's approach on the airfields before he can even use them. Does he know about it? He's probably noticed it. Yes, he's got his artillery going up this way now. He wants to take them out, but I just don't think he's going to reach it in time. And at the same time, Animorph has his units coming in through this way, straight through the middle, so these artillery are being diverted into a direction that he kind of doesn't want them to be diverted in, but he has to. But fortunately for Juseless, it looks like Animorph is doing the flag command to get here, so he's being slowed down while taking territory. So, is there any more commandos lying around from Animorph? He's got one up there trying to shoot these guys. I think they're fine, but the artillery are starting to fire at this line. He's trying to make a line command here so that they all set themselves up nicely. And these commandos are being chased out of this way, trying to find any energy wells. So he's targeting key locations, but I don't think there's one there yet. No, Juseless doesn't have any energy production whatsoever right now. So those line of artillery are going to be able to hold back these artillery. They're going to be pushed back from Juseless. He is trying to increase his numbers before he tries to push forward again. And at the same time, Juseless is expanding down in this area and has taken some land off of Animorph. Right, so he's built barracks on this island as well, so he's going to be able to expand quite nicely over in that area. Whereas Animorph will soon have this whole area. He's got a navy yard and a barracks there, so I do think he plans to cross the islands. And he is going to be able to claim this territory up here very soon, but he's going to have to keep managing this. He hasn't set them up prior to being there when he first started sending units over there. I have a little engagement going on down here, which Animorph will probably lose. Maybe able to kill these two people, maybe, before the reinforcements get there. But killing that airfield on over here was actually a very good catch from Animorph. So far, Animorph's production is coming from 5 barracks and 5 factories and 2 barracks. Pretty much all coming from one location. It's got this down here as well. But this is what's reinforcing his front line. And from this side of it, we have 3 factories and 2 barracks. And he's got another airfield being built. So the airfield is what is holding him back because he lost one. So that's a production structure is going to be holding him back for a while. However, it looks like Juseless has gone into solely artillery here. He's got no SAM. Well, he's got 2 SAM units. He hasn't got SAM being produced. So, with Animorph having to produce some SAM units, it might actually put it in favour of Juseless for this attack. Looks like it is going in favour of Animorph at the minute because it's curving around his army, but Juseless's army is a bit larger, which just means that Animorph is going to be taking better losses in this battle, but he is going to end up losing the fight. It looks like he is actually going to use the SAM units on the front line as well, and this is to probably more as a meat shield. So these guys are going to get attacked by the artillery, while these artillery are going to get 3 shots in. But when you've only got 3 artillery left, I just don't think it's worth it at this point. It would have been great when you had more units to back them up with, but they just didn't make it in time. And after Juseless tried taking over territory from Animorph in this section, we now have Animorph taking that territory back. Right, now since they're coming up to what's considered their almost maximum potential, we have 700 a minute from Animorph, and Juseless is at 600 per minute, so Animorph is ahead in eco and in production because he hasn't lost production structures yet. Juseless is building an energy well over here while he's got his aircraft strikers being built. Is he building up anything over this way? No, he's just expanding. There we go. So he's trying to go around the army, but it looks like Animorph is retreating in that direction too. He's hoarding an army in the forest here, so even if Juseless can see it through the fog of war, he won't be able to see through the forest. And now he's going to bring these units down and probably bring these units around in a bit. Potentially trying to flank the enemy or pincer the enemy. More production being placed. Has Animorph crossed the water yet? He hasn't. That's because he's out of energy. He doesn't have an energy well yet set up. Does it have an energy well at all? Does not really. Not in a safe location. Not that I can see. He's got one right here, but that's in a very contested zone. Could easily be taken out. Personally, I wouldn't even build an energy well. I would go for power plants, probably up in this area. He is about to claim, so we'll see if he decides to do that. I haven't fully checked. I might have missed a spot, but I would if I was playing. So see if Animorph does so. He hasn't got any energy production right now. Juseless is building up his strikers, and he may send them in soon. He decided not to engage after seeing those units come out of the forest, so that was probably quite a wise decision. And now Juseless is trying to explore the ocean, trying to claim the territory, and see if Animorph has done the same. Go, these units are going to come up through this line here, come down through this line here. And the strikers have lifted off. Where are they going? They are trying to help in this location here against the commandos. There's 2 commandos up here so far. By the looks of it, there is only 3 in total, so... And there's another one coming in now, but you can't see that. Stealthed and in the mountain. So Animorph has spotted these units coming in, and he's trying to hold the line. I'm going to bring these units in like this instead, because this way they'll all come in and move in a straight line from this location instead of a line of 5. They might end up engaging in a lot better of a position than they would have elsewise. He's trying to bring them in, just making sure that it catches all units. Go, he spotted strikers anyway, so he definitely has enough SAM in this area. Don't know if he's got enough artillery to take this on, because it does look like these units aren't coming in the best situation. But he does have a lot more units coming in. He's got a mass load of factories in this forest, which I don't usually recommend having them so close together. 1 nuke, maybe 2 nukes for this size of a cluster. But Juseless, he is trying to use the strikers to stop any pressure at the sides and apply extra pressure himself by the looks of things. But he's definitely holding strong on the front line, and so is Animorph. But I think Juseless has this engagement until these reinforcements come in. He has his own reinforcements coming in too, but I think he can set up these lines a bit better, a bit like Animorph is. I'd say the line setup from Animorph was a bit more better than Juseless. But I think Juseless is trying to curve around the edge. I think that's what his plan is. But I think it's going against him right now with the position, and he's got like an arrowhead situation, which isn't usually the best one for artillery. Okay, so he's trying to go, instead of going down now, he's trying to go up and around instead, and it looks like Juseless has actually pretty much lost all of his units probably because of the positioning of them. The way they ended up situating at the battlefield. But I think he's taken out all the commandos up here, and Juseless is going to go around into this forest, and if he can get behind Animorph, which he can barely even see right now, then he might be able to take out some structures, because all of this section's south. If he doesn't spot this quick enough, that is going to be a real big problem for him. Have a quick look at what's going on down here. So he's managed to claim this island. He's spotted these navy units though. And it looks like he's lost his navy yard. But this cruiser could probably destroy this. He's got a power plant set up in the mountains. Thought he might do that. However, at this point, these units are going to start coming in straight in towards Juseless's base. And the strikers are going to come around, and are they on a nice little line command? Or it's just a circle. But unfortunately, it turns out there's a bit too much energy being used from Juseless at the minute. And it looks like those strikers are going to end up going down to those SAM units. Or at least some of them are. There's one down. One was heavily damaged, but he will repair some of that. And Animorph is about to be hit again by Juseless' reinforcements. Those cruisers have taken out this. I think Juseless is definitely getting control over the ocean at this point. And he pretty much has control of these two other islands. Animorph's perspective, he can't really see too much what's going on in the ocean. He saw something then. They're probably going to catch this transport boat out in a minute. He's nearly claimed that island. And this fight is getting reinforced heavily because there is a lot of production here of artillery and SAM units. Get the feeling this is going to be a very large battle just sitting there, going to stay there for a while it keeps getting reinforced. And as I said, that transport's been spotted and Juseless is taking that out. Don't think Animorph has another one. Yeah, he does. He's got another one there, which still has a unit in. That guy's having a day off, I think. Over here, it looks like Juseless is pushing back and he's winning this engagement in the top. Strikers are coming in to support, but the SAM are going to try and shoot it down. Possibly successfully at this one. There we go. Now, Animorph should probably have to retreat. He is. He's just retreating now. And he is trying to push in some units down in the bottom part of the island, trying to push around with those infantry that are there. Making sure that he doesn't get through, but I don't think he actually spotted this area. He's got some helicopters now, so he tried to send those over there at one point. And if Juseless had these on arrow commands, they would already be inside this forest right now. And they would already be able to stop some of that production. But this helicopter's getting extra free damage in, so is the artillery, because they're just trying to stop and take over territory. Have a look at the command. Yeah, he is using a flag command. Because there's a unit in there, they're allowed to move forward now because they can't capture it. He's found the airfield. And these 6 infantry have snuck round. They are heavily damaged, and I don't know if they're going to be able to take out the airfield, but they are definitely going to do some damage to it. There's one commando just on his own defending it. And at the same time, Juseless is going down here because he knows that if he wants to deal with it, he's going to have to push up this way. There we go. He lost it anyway. Unfortunately, Juseless could not take out that airfield. So Animorph is safe for a little bit. And Juseless is going to try and go down this way. And I think he's going to try and attack here and bring his reinforcements through this way, maybe. He still has quite a few strikers. He's nearly got 4 now, so that'll be able to support him quite heavily in battle. He's pretty much claimed everything he can except for this one, and he is about to do this island, which I completely missed. Did not know that was there. But their economy should be at their max potential, or nearly. We got 1,100 from Juseless and Animorph. We have 1,000, so they're pretty equally matched. Almost got a stalemate here. It's pretty much coming up to whoever makes the best trades. They set these up to all come at this area, but these guys are moving that way and they're moving that way, so these guys are going to get killed first. Probably would have been better to keep these where they were, maybe retreat until the battle could happen all at once. We've got the helicopters coming in. They're going to try and fly through and destroy anything that they can, because I don't see any SAM units in there. They are right at the back there. They're way out of position. But then also, Juseless has his strikers there, trying to take out what very little artillery there is in this little section here. And instead of Animorph trying to pincer Juseless, it looks like Juseless's reinforcements are going to come in instead and pincer Animorph, or at least slow down these guys. So how has he set up his lines? He's going to move them straight up and move these across this way, yeah. But to be fair, Animorph has got his SAM units in a very good position, right in between his 2 front lines. He might need to move them just a little bit back though, because these artillery are going to hit hard. Why is he sending over here? He's sending his strikers in. Oh, they're going up north and they're going to come down and try and take out this airfield. From Animorph's point of view, he doesn't have too much defending it, but he could see him quite early. And it also might reveal that Animorph's trying to send his army up this way and try and come in and down. But these guys are actually thinking alike, but they're just using different things to do it with. And the strikers are going to waste their ammo before they get to that airfield, so they have revealed themselves, but it didn't quite reveal what Juseless was actually doing there. But I think Juseless still has the advantage, and that did reveal what he was doing. These strikers are going to come down into this fight down here. They are going to actually attack this airfield. And Animorph has won the ground battle down that area, so these guys can now reinforce the top area. And I don't know whether Juseless is going to respond with the ground units over here. We've got some still there to defend, but it doesn't look like he's actually responding to it just yet. Right, and Juseless does have most of the islands. It looks like he is working on his economy. He's trying to build that up. He's got an industry being built there as well. Whereas Animorph, I don't think he is building up an economy yet. I think he is just trying to plow through Juseless at this point, but he is taking the territory from this island here. The helicopters are coming in to attack the SAM units, but there is too many SAM there for these helicopters to take on, and he's just lost 2 of them for that. The strikers are coming in, and those SAM might be able to fire at him. Yep, he's just changed direction, so they will. And he lost the striker as well. All of these units are converging towards this location, which is exactly where Juseless' army is, and they will just start curving around it quite naturally. We'll give Juseless the disadvantage here, give Animorph the advantage. And now Juseless is attacking Animorph up here. I don't know what he can see. He is sending a fair group of infantry over there, but that is going to be supported by the helicopters from Animorph. Whereas down here, the strikers are going to support this area and take out as many artillery units as they can. But the SAM are going to absolutely tear them to shreds if they carried on, so we had to call them back. And it looks like Animorph is going to win this engagement down here if Juseless can't do anything about this. And to be fair, Animorph is also being quite successful in the north as well. And if I remember correctly, he was taking over this island down here, which he has a barrack set up here, if I remember. And Juseless has spotted this, and he's going to try and send his units across, but I just don't think he's got enough on the island right now. So he might lose that territory as well. So Animorph is doing these small little things that is going to hit Juseless' economy over time. And that is going to put Juseless in a bad position later on. He's at 1,200 a minute right now. Animorph is at 1,100, so Juseless does have the advantage here when it comes to the economy. They have a very similarly situated army. Juseless is using strikers, whereas Animorph is using helicopters, but other than that, they're pretty similar. I wonder if Juseless is still building boats. It looks like he is. I think he was concerned a lot about boats that might be attacking in the future. He actually isn't producing them anymore, but he has still got some boats. There's a lot of engagements going on around here. It looks like Juseless is surrounded almost, but not too much. It's just spread out a bit too much. So, however, this area is going to get annihilated if Juseless can't stop him. What's going on over here? Juseless wasn't able to respond, but he's bringing his transport boats down. He's got infantry coming down here, so he will be able to try and take that island back. Whereas up here, these artillery are getting some nice shots in on the production there. The artillery that's defending here is actually able to push back. However, they're going to walk around this unless he changes the command to go upwards instead. Strikers are doing whatever they can to try and get any damage in for free. Anywhere that there isn't SAM, they can alleviate the pressure. That's what he's trying to go for here. Animorph is just being absolutely relentless. He's attacking at multiple different locations. Juseless has this territory. He's going to try and take it back. He hasn't managed to get there yet. SAM are going to take out those strikers. He has 3 strikers left and 2 airfields producing them, so he should be able to recover with those strikers as long as he can defend them well enough. But it looks like Juseless is slowly being defeated in this game. We're moving the SAM units down now to protect against the helicopters. That helicopter will go down with that amount of SAM they're shooting at. And the strikers are trying to chip away at the edge here because the SAM's on this side. If he goes this way, then those SAM won't be able to do much about it. So they'll have to move back around this way, and then he can pull the strikers back and go down another way. Just doing as many hit and runs as you can that gets free hits. But unfortunately, one has strayed away. It is a bit risky. And they are still going to get hit by those SAM units. From this perspective, Juseless won the fight originally and has taken over the territory. But it is being reinforced on the ground here. And I don't know if Juseless has enough infantry to take back this island. But this is going to sway the economy into Animorph's favour soon. 1,200, and now Juseless is at 1,100. I'm pretty sure it was the other way around last time we checked, so that has actually changed for them both. Right, now we've got a very strong line of units coming in now, and they're shooting anything and everything that comes into sight right now. Another structure's going down. We have 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more factories in this section, producing every so often. We've got 3 up here and 2 airfields about to go down, and it looks like these industries are going to get hit as well, which is going to be insanely bad for Juseless if he can't defend this location at all. But I'm pretty sure Juseless is actually really stubborn, and he really wants to stay in this tournament, and he's going to try his best to fight back any way that he can. He's even brought his cruisers to the coastline to shoot in. Any extra damage is free damage. Whereas Animorph is still just trying to push in as hard as he can and take out as much as he can. Striker trying to poke in there, so he's brought his SAMs forward, and that Striker will go down eventually. There we go, it's down. And it looks like Juseless might actually be able to take this island back. We're still bringing units over. He doesn't have too many left, and he can't see the barracks that's here, but if he does spot that barracks, he will be able to take it out. The airfield's about to go down. That has a Striker being produced on it right now. He's bringing in his helicopters to provide support. Can't see where they landed because they don't come from the airfield, they come from elsewhere. 3 factories went down straight away at once then, pretty much. And it looks like Animorph is clearing this island from Juseless's presence. Juseless still has a plan though. He's bringing his units down through the water. The airfield down, and the Striker is going to try and do as much damage as possible, but he's literally just flying straight through the line of SAMs there. This is unfortunate for Juseless, but he is stubborn and he still thinks he can win this game. Let's have a look at what Juseless House is doing over here. He's trying to bring some more units across. He doesn't have many to do it going, but he is just trying to focus on economy right now. Trying to build up some form of economy so that he has something to rely on in the future. And he is trying to situate himself to have this island too. Anything is better than nothing, and I keep forgetting about this island, but he's got another town there that has a docks on it. He would be able to set up a trade route if he could protect it. So he is making a plan behind the scenes, and because all of this has been destroyed, he no longer has to pay upkeep for it. So even though he may have less income, he's actually earning a lot more money, so he might be able to pull something out of the bag here. But it won't be long now until he loses complete sight over this island entirely. But he still has his plans. He's going to send some units in across here now and take over the island over there. Try and take over the island from the back. Somewhere along the lines, Juseless has managed to take out Animorph from this island too, because Animorph did have that originally. Over here, it looks like he's going to lose his navy yards now, one at a time, and this energy well is going to go down. I think this one should be safe. But Animorph has complete reign over this whole island now. Something's going on over here. Oh, he's destroying them. So he's destroying these, or self-destructing them, so that he can increase his own economy. As he doesn't need any more production. He's got enough units on the ground. And he's doing this probably to work on other economy structures so that he can make sure that he stays in the game. I don't think he's spotted this yet, but he is bringing units down just to make sure he's got some defense anywhere on the map. Building an airfield and barracks there. I think this Mando runs. Or it's just conveniently stealth next to each other because of the mountains. Most of these units are just going forward now and just trying to explore the map and claim all the territory left available to him. And now Animorph has lost this territory and it doesn't look like he's noticed it yet. The Juseless will claim it. And we'll probably try and build stuff on it. There we go, he's got a barracks set up. And he's going to try and expand as fast as he can over on Juseless' land. See what else he can do over there. Personally, I'd try and... Because he got such a big economy right now, I would be trying to build a nuke here so you could destroy everything that he's got when it finally reaches you. And I wouldn't expand any further until that nuke was ready. Or a little bit. And have some factories set up. That you can sort of surprise them and respawn and battle back and stuff, you know. Hold them back. Ready for a nuke to destroy them all. That way you might be able to change the tide of the battle. But you never really know. Both players now have an insane amount of economy coming in. And ready to do with it as they wish. Animorph should be working on his economy really rapidly right now. And he is. He's building loads of stuff in the mountains over here. You probably could do stuff with this. It's fairly well defendable location. Juseless is just trying to find a way in that will change the tide of this war. Building a docks here, so he definitely does plan to have some trade routes. There you go. He's building that one there. He's got a trade route set up. He needs a town here to be built before he can set up this trade route. And that will give him an insane amount of economy and might be able to bring him back into the game again. There we go. I think Juseless has been spotted by Animorph now. And he's trying to bring in a big force over here to try and fight back. Which is probably just too much for Juseless to handle. But we'll have to wait and see. From Juseless' side of things, he is trying to set up a defensive line, which is definitely going to end up being a bit too late. Fortunately for him, he has been spotted really early. But at least he's got production set up, so he is going to be able to try and fight back at least. Otherwise, Juseless is just trying to keep control over this ocean and make sure he doesn't spot any naval bays or naval yards, submarine pens being built, so he's checking the coast. Making sure that he is situated safely. And then he can have free reign to try and poke at Animorph. Looks like Animorph is going to be able to take over this section of the map again. He's got his artillery there. I wonder if he's bringing everything in. Is he keeping this line over here? He is. He's keeping these guys there. Got some airfields being produced, and they're going to be able to cross the water instead. So he's going to be able to try and have air superiority against Juseless' naval superiority. Over in this direction, the helicopters are even being called in themselves as well. And I just think that that's going to be impossible to defeat. I was wrong. This energy well is not safe. This one single artillery unit can shoot it. Which will be a pain for Juseless, but not too much of a concern. Juseless is having a hard time trying to defend this location. He doesn't have much he can use. He can't reinforce it. Look from his side. He has some boats and he can bring some units in, but I just don't think he's willing to put that effort in there. Got some artillery he could use, but I think he's just going to build them up for the next assault. Juseless just lost another energy well, so obviously one being lost there, but thought he had... Obviously wrong. So from Jules' perspective, he's just being overrun in this section now. He is trying to claim the territory even down here and hope that Animorph doesn't spot him, I guess. That they can just keep the territory there and wait till later. These three structures are going to go down very soon. They're not going to be able to produce much more. And Juseless probably won't dedicate any more of his funds to that. Next thing I'm waiting for is the airfields that were being built here and what they're going to do next. Trying to keep an eye out for that now. Just have a look for Animorph's eyes to have that knowledge. I can see what's going on up here. Got three now. 3 airfields have been built and he's building strikers. When there's such range, it might be wiser to try and go for strategic bombers. Just because they have that extra distance. But I don't really know the damage output of those compared to strikers, so probably have to test those soon. Go, so Animorph has cleared this section of the map. There are some territory he's going to need to claim back. Be interesting to see whether he does or not. Whether he forgets about it. So he's building a city now. Knows Juseless is across the water and he's not given up, so Animorph is building a city. Probably is building one over here. He is, yep. Both players are preparing for the long game in this. Animorph has a fair amount of ground force to reckon with right now. Here's some things being built. Where from, though? Oh, probably in this section. There you go. So he's going to use this area to build stuff on, and he's going to transport stuff across. He's got his trade route set up now, so I wonder what the economy is now, because Animorph doesn't actually have trade routes. So Juseless has managed to keep a really high economy of 1,490 compared to Animorph's 1,700. That's pretty much because of his towns and industries up in the back here as well. But he doesn't actually have trade routes. And Animorph is trying to build up his own navy fleet up here. Very nicely hidden away and defended with strikers. What can Jules see from that? So he is going to try and have a look around here and see what Animorph can build. I think he's trying to check to make sure that he owns the ocean. What is going on down here? It looks like Animorph is aware that there could be stuff down here. He is going to take that land. Unfortunately for Juseless. There we go. He's got these strikers coming in this way to make sure he don't come too close. He doesn't want to get spotted there. I think that's the thing. Instead of just destroying the ships, he wants to make sure they don't get anywhere near this. And I don't think Juseless can see that. So I think he is going to be denied vision over there. Yeah, they weren't able to hold up then. So now Juseless knows about the air units over here. He doesn't actually know about the navy fleets there. So it could be that Animorph takes back the ocean soon. Looks like Juseless is building up a large amount of transport boats, and that'll be to try and invade the land really fast. So that they can go to and from the land and put in a lot of units really quickly to try and take over later on. So Animorph has 3 cities right now. And that is producing him a lot of income. Trying to store up some energy for a later fight, probably with 1, 2, 3, 6 Navy yards producing fleets. He knows he's going to need a lot of energy for this one final battle that is coming up, but it seems to be at a bit of a stalemate right now, and I think Juseless will have control over what happens next. So I'm going to watch a bit of a faster mode, just so we can see what goes on. And when it comes up to a big fight or something, we will slow it down. Both players are just biding their time as we speak. We're just increasing their production. So Juseless is going to try and invade over here. He's got something going across there. I think this is more of a scout. Anything? They got instantly spotted by infantry there. So Juseless, Animorph is aware of that. He saw that and he's bringing down a group of units to protect this area as well. At the same time, Animorph sent his strikers around, cleared up a lot of this defensive line here, sent them across. But Juseless is out of energy. So he is still struggling for energy supply. Don't think he has any safe places he can put energy either. Which is unfortunate. He's going to have to try and rely on power plants next part of this game. Did actually manage to get some through. I didn't spot that because we were in fast mode. So he has managed to sneak in some commandos, and Animorph has not spotted this. I think Animorph is aware that it might happen though, so he did send this to happen, so he might be able to spot them in a bit. There you go, he knows something's going on, he can see it's being damaged, so he's sending in his helicopters, and there is more than enough helicopters here to reveal the stealth of the commandos. But not before he gets the kill on that one structure, but he's producing it straight away. It's probably not a bad idea, he knows he's going to destroy them, he knows he can defend it after. But actually, no, I think it looks like it destroyed again. Well, that was a complete waste of money. Animorph is bringing his navy down as well. He's trying to send in as much units over here as he can. And I want to see this from Jules' perspective, because he can spot this. He's seen the navy fleet there. He cannot even move his, so he can't do anything about this. And his boats are so close to the edge there, but they're going to get spotted before they can really do much about it. Whereas Animorph's side of this, he's got more than enough energy. And anything that comes close to these former strikers are coming over. He is building a rocket. I think he considers this to be the main island of Juseless because it's the largest. But Juseless is situated on a smaller island mostly. Most of his infrastructure. And those strikers are going to come down in one bombing line. Try and destroy anything and everything they come across. Pretty much like a carpet bomber. And he's even going for some extra energy just to rub it in Juseless' face. But yeah, those infantry aren't going to last much longer. He's just pretty much going to hold this area until most of his units are across. And then he's going to try and claim it. Because there were so many strikers here, you could see pretty much the whole ground, except for the mountains. Can't guarantee there's nothing there. I heard a rocket ready. Heard that standing by. I don't know who it was from. Jules just can't fire a rocket anyway. He's got no energy. Ah, there it is. But it is right there. And that's partly to defend his invasion, which is exactly the same as Animorph's nuke as well. Animorph has pretty much built it in the wrong place. He doesn't know it, obviously, but this was to help protect his invasion force. And he's concerned of how much might be producing here, but Jules just doesn't have anything there. Apart from a city, it's going to go down. And that'll be great for Animorph, but I think he's expecting a lot more resistance up in that area. But with a lack of energy, it just looks like his invasion is not going to be as successful because he just can't get the units across fast enough. Up here, the strikers are coming down through the mountains, checking for anything that's there. Don't know how far away they can go from those airfields. It looks about the max distance. Could be wrong. But Juseless just can't get enough energy to be able to fire this rocket anywhere. Otherwise, that probably would be quite helpful just to clear this area up. And I don't know what Animorph is doing about that invasion as well. He is bringing his newer produced structures over this way, and it looks like those animations are really being a bit weird, but alright. Go, so we've got these artillery fighting for control over that section, but it looks like Animorph has that under control. Animorph has protected this area of the water, and he is able to get as much units as he wants across there, to be fair. And he is going to bring them down. I don't know what Juseless is planning to do against that. I don't really think he can do much. He can barely see what's going on up there. He is trying to bring his navy down a bit to try and sort it out, but he just doesn't have the power to do it. He's trying to increase his power as much as he possibly can. It's just not building up fast enough for him. Animorph's helicopters are clearing up what's left on the ground here, and they will be able to take on these boats as well. They'll definitely stop this invasion over there. So, Juseless has been stopped once again with the invasion that way. Animorph, concerned there might be some more going on here. He's going to bring these into this choke point here so that he can take control over it. Only to find there's probably nothing there. And I'm going to speed up this part as well because I know there's not really about what's going to happen here. But Animorph is now struggling with energy as well, as he's trying to move his air units and will control that many. But he's got a big fleet of ships, and that's going to be a problem for him. So he's just going to leave them there for a bit, let his energy build up. He's got a lot of storage, so when they are built up, he can make some big moves then. Hear a rocket being fired. It is not Animorph's. There we go. So Juseless did fire a rocket and take over this location, built up some of his own energy, and now he's trying to invade once again. His plan is to place these missile ships right there to protect against those helicopters. So that was actually quite a decent situation to use. He's also got rid of that rocket because he can't afford to keep it. And he wanted to get that in really well, and I think he's handled that invasion as best that he possibly could. Animorph, I'm going to have to deal with that. Otherwise, if he lets it build up, that's going to be a sizable force that can absolutely decimate this whole area. If Juseless is successful there, we could end up seeing the map flip around as Animorph goes around to this side of the map, and Juseless takes over the main island once again. I mean, he did get rid of a lot of his units, sending them across this way. So he is going to have to produce a lot to get there, but he also does have a nuke up here to defend with. Unless he got rid of it. It looks like he did. Yeah, Juseless has stopped absolutely everything just so he can try and bring as many units down here as possible. And Animorph is trying to bring some more units down to this fight here. So Animorph has pretty much realised that there is nothing defending this island over here, and he pretty much has free reign to destroy the city without being challenged. And these strikers up here will be able to defend when they get so far into this. But Animorph is content on leaving his ships there as well as they build up the energy. Juseless is going to try and advance through this area, and they are going to be backed up by a lot of infantry. But I think the artillery are going to handle the infantry pretty well. The helicopter's coming in, but they're going straight into a line of samfire. And it goes down, so... He has started to produce a lot more structures on this island. He has a lot of capital, so he can do whatever he wants with that, and he's going to be able to adapt very easily. On this side of the map, we see that Animorph is still progressing through the territory, claiming each part. Making sure he doesn't leave anything in control of Juseless. Strikers are going to come in and protect these new constructed buildings. And I think this is the last stand for Juseless right now. He's going to try and make one last push. See if he can take control over this island. His perspective, he's trying to take over pretty much everywhere. And he's got arrow commands. He is not going for capturing land, except for here, which I think is a mistake. And that is so that he can get straight in here and take out these airfields. Try and take out the structures before he deals with anything else. But now there's going to be a lot of strikers in this area. I wonder, did he just send them down? Yeah, he did. He sent them down. And they are going to be able to tear up a lot of this going on over here. And at the same time, the city is going to get shot down eventually. And that little area there is going to be filled with Animorph's ships. And he's spotted some more ships, so he's going to try and bring these around here. He's found the town and some trade routes. But unfortunately, Juseless just doesn't have the energy to respond to that. Over here, the strikers are just ploughing through everything they find. And these artillery are making a break for the city up here. But I just don't think they're going to reach it in time. Down here was a navy battle, and just can't get his units into a good enough position. These units are going to crowd around everything. They're going to destroy that docks as well, disrupting his trade routes. That's going to destroy both of the trade routes. And unfortunately, Juseless has no energy and no money at all. He's got all of his economy in production, these units. And if he had the energy, he might be able to supply this army up here a lot better. Could have been able to turn the tide of war, but I just don't think that's going to happen at this point in the game. They're being stuck at this choke point where they can fire more off than he can at the same time. But some commandos are going to come in and try and help with this. Animorph side of things, he is going to protect this area quite well. He is going to lose some things, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't mind too much at this point. Yeah, the production over here that was there from the beginning is pretty much just going to stop this attack. Even if not now, but eventually it will. Juseless doesn't seem to have any other plans elsewhere on the battlefield, but there is something going on here. Ah, the submarines were there. But yeah, this navy fleet is going to be destroying anything they can find. They've managed to destroy the town and the docks, leaving Juseless' trade routes down even worse economy than he was before. And if he can reach with those cruisers, his energy is going to be under attack soon as well. Juseless is doing everything he can to stay alive in this game, making sure that he wants to win this so badly. He's never going to quit. Animorph has secured pretty much every location, and he probably realizes this is the last stand. I don't think we're going to see any more nukes, but it would be interesting to see how many you can build in this situation, because Animorph has a lot of money left over. And his navy is going to just carry on moving through as best they can. They are taking out... Juseless once controlled this ocean, and he's taken that away from him. Submarines have reached that location, but they're probably reaching one by one. No, they're reaching a few at a time, but their energy just isn't able to keep up with it. Which is unfortunate, and Animorph is now trying to colonize this island as well. He's got his units there, and he's going to try and take it out, even without using his navy to destroy it. And slowly but surely Animorph is taking over this land as well. He's taking it back. There we go. Anyway, I believe this is the end of the match. Juseless has lost this game. He is therefore out of the tournament completely. Animorph has won his right back to go into the winner's side of the tournament again. And not only that, but enter the finals to fight Albnet tomorrow's battle. So, see you there for that one. There are 2 videos on screen right now, probably. And I will see you in one of those. Thanks for watching.